Hi, and welcome back to the story of words. The last time I think we left you with a rather morbid story about rhymes, about difficult times. But we have Professor Upendran with us again to talk to us about the plague and what it actually meant in Europe at that time. So I'm going to go back just a little bit on the plague. Europe seemed to have been plagued by the plague. Why was that?
Yes, Europe was frequently visited by the plague for a number of reasons. And the main reason being they were pretty unhygienic. I mean, these are people who tell us how to be clean and whatnot, but they were basically full of crap a long time ago, and crap in the literal sense. Because unlike us, for example, in India, if you had to go to the bathroom, say several hundred years ago, what did people do?
They went into the bushes.
They went into the bushes. They went out. They did their thing. They came back. But in a city like London or Paris, where would they go?
I'm assuming to the toilet?
They went to the toilet. But you didn't have indoor plumbing. I mean, they could have gone out, but it was pretty crowded. So there was no really a place where they can go and do their small or big business. So they were forced to stay indoors. And the problem was, where do you collect the stuff? For example, if you had to go, where could you go if you were in the house? You can't dig a pit. So what do you do?
Well, for the sake of decency, I'll let you answer that question.
Well, you know what these people did? They had a pot, a chamber pot. It was called a chamber pot. And everyone in the family went to that chamber pot and did their business, whether it was number one, as we say in India, or number two. They deposited all the stuff in the chamber pot. And instead of, then when it was done, what do you do with what has been collected?
I don't even want to go there.
No, you should, because this is the most important thing. You're done, there you have. In fact, the most interesting thing was once they were done, if the pot wasn't full, they used to keep it in the house and usually under the bed.
Good Lord, and these are people now telling us about hygiene.
Yes, they're telling us about hygiene. Anyway, at least we in the past used to dig a pit, do the stuff, and, make sure that nobody stepped on it. So you close the pit and it was out in the open air. But here, people did their stuff inside the house, collected it in a pot, and then kept it under the bed. I guess that's what gave them a good night's sleep, the aroma that they had. And then what happened? When the pot was full, what did you do? What could you do? What would have been a sensible thing to do?
I would, again, for the reasons of decency, phrase it this way. One man's treasure is another man's trash. So perhaps...
This is one man's treasure?
It is.
Okay.
A good bowel is anybody's treasure.
Okay. So?
Maybe put it in the dumpster?
He put it in a dumpster. Well, those days, people didn't have dumpsters. What they used to do was, if you were rich, you had a maid who picked up this pot and dealt with the contents. And this maid was called the chambermaid. Okay, so you had the chamber pot where you deposited the contents from inside your stomach. And then the chambermaid used to pick up the pot, go to the nearest window, and throw it out.
Oh, good Lord.
Just imagine. Huh? And if you were under the window, you got hit. So to make sure that people didn't get hit by feces and whatnot, she used to shout, Gardyloo, meaning beware of the water. And when people heard that, they ran. They ran away from the window, and then she dumped it on the road. So in England, in most of Europe, you had, if I'm allowed to use the word, you had shit everywhere. It wasn't just human shit, but you had dung from horses, cows, sheep, everywhere on the road. And this allowed the rats to have a good time. And it resulted in the plague visiting Europe very frequently. And this expression that, Gardyloo, the loo became loo, which is why the bathroom nowadays, at least in Europe, it's called loo. The bathroom is called loo. It's from Gardyloo. It's from this expression that we get the word loo. And that is why the bathroom that we use nowadays, of course, in some parts of India, we still do it on the road, but most of us use the bathroom, and the bathroom is called the loo.
So do we say the loo? And I'm assuming that's because of the British. Okay. Do the Americans use the same word?
No. For them, I think it's called the John. They say John. I don't want to talk about the loo because I think I need to use it. Thank you.
And on that note, we'll take a break and see you in the next episode.